This is Mr. Alexander, and today I'd like to talk to you about how to divide polynomials. This is what we did in Pre-AP Algebra 2 on January the 29th and Friday, January 30th. So let's get right to it. So you've got two polynomials. This one's a trinomial because there's three terms. This one's a binomial because there's two. If you're trying to divide that trinomial by this binomial, you've got to do long division. And the long division of polynomials is very similar to the long division you did back in the 6th grade when you were trying to divide multi-digit numbers. And this is the first step here. The way I like to think about the process here is, the first step is I'm always trying to turn the first term here into the first term here by way of multiplication. So what times x equals x squared? Well, that's just x. So I'm going to write an x up there. So x times x is x squared, and x times 5 is positive 5x. Now what I need to do is put these guys in parentheses, and we're going to subtract straight down. So x squared minus x squared, of course, is 0. So I'm just going to leave that blank. 8x minus 5x is 3x. And you're going to want to bring down this term over here. So bring down the plus 15. All right, now I'm going to ask myself the question, how do I turn that x into a 3x by way of multiplication? And of course, that's just by multiplying by 3. So I'm going to write a plus 3 right there. So 3 times x is 3x. And then 3 times 5 is 15. And I'll subtract straight down. That's 0 when you subtract them. So there's no remainder here. So the answer, of course, is just x plus 3. Had there been a remainder, we would have added it here. We would have put plus 0 over x plus 5. Of course, there is no remainder. 0 divided by anything is still 0. So the answer is just x plus 3. Let me walk you through that process a couple more times. Of course, these come in varying degrees of difficulty, so that was kind of an easy one. Let me show you one that's a little bit more complicated than that. 6x squared minus 7x plus 5, all divided by 3x minus 5. So we'll start by writing 6x squared minus 7x plus 5, and then over here we will write the 3x minus 5. Now I'm just going to ask myself the same series of questions that I did before. How do I turn a 3x into a 6x squared by way of multiplication? And so 3 times 2 is 6, so I'm going to write the 2, and x times x is x squared. So I'm going to write the 2x up there. So 2x times 3x is 6x squared. And then 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. And put all that in parentheses, and I'm going to subtract. So 6x minus 6x is 0. Negative 7x minus a negative 10x is the same as negative 7 plus 10, which is positive 3x. And go ahead and bring down this other term here. It's plus 5. Okay. And the next thing we'll want to do is ask ourselves the question, well, how do we turn 3x into 3x? That's just multiplication by 1. So 1 times 3x is 3x. 1 times negative 5 is minus 5. And I'm going to subtract all of this. So 3x minus 3x is 0. And then 5 minus a negative 5 is the same as 5 plus 5, so that's 10. So that's our remainder. And we're going to bring that back up top. I'm going to write that as a fraction. So I'm going to write plus 10 over 3x minus 5. Like that. So the final answer here is 2x plus 1 plus 10 divided by 3x minus 5. All right, I want to show you one more that looks a little bit different, but it's no more complicated than the one we just did. Same process. We're going to start by writing the 6a squared plus 5ab minus 5b squared. And we're going to divide all that by 2a minus b. All right, so let's talk about how we're going to do that. So if we want to turn a 2a into a 6a squared, you're going to multiply everything by 3a. Just write 3a up there. So 3a times 2a is 6a squared, and 3a times negative b is negative 3ab. Subtract all that. So 6a squared minus 6a squared is just 0. And then 5ab minus a negative 3ab. Negative and a negative makes a positive, so we're going to add 5 and 3. That's 8ab. We'll carry down this term to make 5b squared, negative 5b squared. And then I'm going to ask myself the question, how do I turn a 2a into an 8ab? We're going to multiply it by positive 4b. Because 4b times 2a is 8ab, and 4b times negative b is negative 4b squared. And we're going to subtract all of that. And so we've got 8ab minus 8ab, that's just 0. Negative 5b squared minus a negative 4b squared. Negative and a negative make a positive, so that's going to be negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1b squared. And there are no terms to bring down. So that is our remainder. So we're going to bring it back up top, and I'm going to write minus. Instead of writing plus there, I'm just going to let that negative from the b squared go right there, become a minus. B squared over 2a minus b. And that's the final answer. Right there. So that's long division with polynomials. Thank you for watching. I hope this was a useful video.